The first person that we ever treated agreed to everything. She got a power chair, she cut back on what she did, she got someone to do cleaning, laundry, her kids were on board, her husband was on board, and she is better now, 25 years later, than she was the first day that we saw her. And when polio survivors stay on the wagon and take care of themselves, they do fine. You know, we don't see folks who are taking care of themselves come back 10 years later and say, you know, oh my God, you know, my rotator cuffs are torn and, you know, my hip is shot and whatever. They do well. The people that come and literally tell me to go to hell, no, I'm not going to use a cane, crutch, wheelchair, you know, you name it, come back, some of them, a percentage of them, 10 years later, 15 years later, in the wheelchair that we recommended because they can't walk anymore, or with some kind of assistive devices, or even having had surgery. One poor guy got both of his knees replaced, the doctor promising him that he would walk once the knees were replaced. Nothing wrong with his knees, he's got no nerves running his legs, so, you know, that's like changing the tires on a car that has no motor, it's still not going to run. So I guess the bottom line to people who have polio now, and for the people who had polio before, is that they've got to listen to what their bodies are saying and respect that and care for themselves the way they've been caring for everybody else in their lives. They see the dietitian who talks about what they should be eating, and the study we did about protein, you know, that. And again, that's not rocket science. If you don't eat breakfast, you have coffee for lunch, and then you have a piece of cold pizza for dinner because you have to run out to a meeting because you're the mayor of the town, you know, that's not consistent with life, let alone polio. And the fact that polio survivors are hypoglycemic, have low blood sugar, and their neurons run on blood sugar, well, you're going to need something to fill their tank first thing in the morning and to keep the tank filled throughout the day. And if they get the number of grams of protein that they need for the body weight that they want to be, they do just fine. And it's, you know, again, it's another, you know, miracle treatment that we've discovered, food. And I can't tell you the number of people who've called who've come for an evaluation, and that they have, you know, just overwhelming fatigue and they're weak and they get washed and dressed, and then by the time they get to have breakfast, they're so tired they can't. And they come for an eval, they call the next day, like around noon, and they say, oh my God, I feel wonderful, I have energy. Well, why do you think this happened?
Had breakfast.
Had breakfast, had 18 grams of low-fat protein for breakfast, you know, had a couple of eggs and a glass of low-fat milk, and
Instant fix.
Yeah, very quick.